It's been about a week of cold, yucky weather, and today we finally have sunshine again. It's going to be a high of 11, and then for the next 4 days it's supposed to rain. They're talking about freezing rain a little bit further west of here, but it's just going to be dreary here. So this is our chance to work outside. So what I am working on today, I don't know, everything. I want to do all the things at once. I'm not quite sure which ones to do, but I'm starting with this. This strip here is probably like, I don't know, 50, 60 feet long and about 4 feet wide. And we put gooseberries and currants, red currants and black currants and pawpaws and elderberries in here. But they only take up part of the space. So if I have soil that's been tilled, I'm going to put stuff in it, because if I don't put stuff in it, nature is going to put things in it. So I have an entire bag here of just random flowers, and there's some herbs in here too. There's some cilantro and some dill. So I'm just going to put these all over the place. And I got my rake. I'm going to bury them lightly under the ground, under the soil, and then I'm going to put some sort of mulch on them. Ideally, I would like to use leaves because it's free. I'll just have to find a patch where there's a bunch of leaves that have been sitting out over the winter that I can put on top of them. And that'll also help keep the birds from stealing what I've just put in the ground. I don't know if any of it'll grow. Only one way to find out. I woke up just feeling weird this morning. It made me think about how I had like 4 days in a row where I felt good, where I woke up feeling rested, where I didn't have any pain, I didn't have any anxiety, I didn't have any depression. Just how much easier it is to move through your day when you feel good when you wake up in the morning. And there are so many days where I wake up just not feeling good. And the best I can sort of explain it is it reminds me of, like if you ever walk through a really, really muddy field and the mud just sticks to your boots and it gets thicker and thicker and heavier until it feels like you've got like 10-pound weights on your legs. That's what it's like trying to move through your day when you have pain or when you have anxiety or when you have depression. And you can kind of get used to it after a while and just sort of accept that that's the reality, and you still manage to put one foot in front of the other. But then I had 4 days in a row where I felt good, where I felt really rested and optimistic and happy about life. And it wasn't such hard work to find the joy in things, to find purpose in things, to find motivation. Most days I am forcing myself to find gratitude. I am forcing myself to hit the things on my to-do list. It's moving forward is so laborious. And then when you have days where it's not like that, I just sort of think, wow, are there people who it's like this every day? I mean, surely not every day, but like there must be people who feel like that more days than they feel heavy and weighted down. And I just think, what an advantage. I can't even imagine what I could accomplish with my life if I wasn't weighted down every day. It's really mind-blowing to think about what an advantage that would be. All right, that was me avoiding analysis paralysis, instant anxiety while trying to decide what to do with these flower seeds. I can do this. It's not really important. Whatever I do, I'm gonna think, I would have done it differently. So I might as well just do it. Hi dudes. You hungry? You want some lunch? Lunch is ready. I'm gonna get you some apple slices too, okay? Okay, I've been working in the garden for a while. It's a weird day because when the sun's out it's fairly warm, and when the sun goes behind the clouds it's quite cold. So I couldn't decide if I should wear a baseball hat or a winter hat. So I'm still feeling a little bit sick, a little bit low in energy. So I've been kind of pacing myself, but I have managed to get a bit of prep work done in the garden. So I've done 1, 2, 3 rows today, which, considering how lousy I feel, I'm pretty happy with that. The next step is I have to get straw from my mountain of straw back there. That isn't really a mountain anymore because the chickens have all knocked it down, and then the snow knocked it even more down. So I need to bring that in and pile it on top of the rows. So, you know, at least I'm getting something done. When I feel lousy, I kind of, you know, I pace myself. Oh, I also pulled all the dead vines off of all my trellises, and I removed this trellis here completely. I'm going to pull the T-posts here and pull the T-posts there, and that trellis is going to go further up down that end. I need to space my tomatoes out because they were just overcrowded. My rows are just too close together. But that's because I want to grow all the things in a tiny amount of space. So I do what I can. Saved some kukuzu seeds in the fall, but none of them were viable. So I'll try these ones. I'll do a viability test on these ones and see if they're viable. I have enough, and people have expressed some interest in buying seeds from me, so I'll see what I can do. Here is a piece of advice that I can give you. When you're tying up your tomatoes in the summer, make sure you tie easily removable knots so that future you doesn't curse you. So at this end, I think this is called a half hitch, so I can just pull it and it comes off. And then at the other end, I made a slip knot, and then I ran it through itself. So see, there's the slip knot, and the string goes through itself. So I can just pull that and it comes right off. I wasn't always this smooth. I learned this the hard way. It was supposed to rain all day today, but instead the sun is shining and it's like 14 degrees. So I feel like we've been given a bonus day for being productive. So Don's gonna work on the chicken tractor and I'm gonna help him as needed. But when he doesn't need me, I'm gonna be working in my garden. I have let the ducks out to free range for the day. The copper morans are on the same side as the ducks. So when I let the ducks out, I also let the copper moran chickens out. Buddy, you gotta work on your technique. You've been on top of her for like 3 minutes now. Hey, honey. So I'm gonna work on this garden. The big garden is about 50% prepped. The little garden is 0% prepped, so I'm gonna work on this today. These are the cuttings of the morning glory. There's seeds everywhere in this. So instead of putting them in the compost or something like that, I'm going to just dump the whole pile of it up here in the birch trees because Dawn wants there to be some pretty flowers in among the birch trees. I don't know if the morning glories will grow. They like sun and there's shade here, obviously, but can't hurt. I need to get rid of the vines somewhere, and it seems like a good place to do it. While I was in the garden prepping the beds, I came across an awful lot of dandelions, and I've been meaning to harvest dandelion roots. I've never done it before, so I dug them up. Now I am washing them in the sink, and I am separating the roots from the greens. I'll feed the greens to my bunnies. You can use the greens, but the rabbits are going to love them, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to just try and see what happens. I think, so the roots, I think I'll slice them, and then I think I'll just put them in my warmer in my wood stove, and they should dehydrate on their own there in a couple of days. So when I went outside, I need to find some slippers, it's gross out there. When I went outside to do chores this morning, one of my hens was lying on the ground, and at first I thought she had been attacked. But no, it looks like she has something called sauerkraut. I've never had a hen with sauerkraut before, but I am familiar with it. So I just did a bunch of research to make sure that I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I have some idea. I think she's pretty far advanced. She has always had a very large, dangly crop. It's always hung and swung around on the front pretty dramatically, so it would be hard to notice sauerkraut in her. How did she get sauerkraut? There are a few different things that cause sauerkraut. I'm gonna call like 3 of them are possible for her. One is the food they've been eating got a bit wet, so it could have gotten a bit moldy. 2 is some of my hens have worms. Worms is kind of a normal thing. You don't really treat them until they get really bad. So I think we should treat them. And I can't remember what the 3rd possibility is. So I'm going to start by just giving her a bit of a bath because it's really muddy out there. And then I'm going to try and get her relaxed and massage her crop. It is also possible to try and get them to vomit it up, but my understanding is that can be quite risky. So everybody says, be careful not to let her aspirate, but I don't know how. How do you do that? Nobody says how to not let her aspirate, so I'm just going to give her a warm bath and massage it and isolate her for a couple of days and see what happens. Smells terrible. So her crop doesn't feel really hard, but it does feel very full. So I'm gonna just massage that and hope that she's able to get it down. I watched a YouTube video with people who had hen with fairly mild case of sauerkraut, and they made her vomit it up. And in the video they say, be careful not to let her aspirate. But they don't say how to be careful about that. And then you get all these comments on it of people saying, I followed what you said and my hen died. You should have given a warning about how dangerous this is. And that, my friends, is why I don't teach anything on my channel, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying my best and I'm bumbling my way through. But yeah, that is a very full crop. It's very gravelly in there. So I'm gonna just do this like a couple of times a day, 3 or 4 maybe times a day. She's very relaxed. Let's hope we can save her. It's been a few hours. Let's check on this lady. I hope she's not dead. How you doing, honey? Oh, not dead. Yay! Do you want to come with me? I'll give you a little massage. Do you want to come on out? Another house chicken just a few weeks ago. I put her in the video quite a bit. Her name was Hazel, and she did not make it, I'm afraid. And so we cremated her, and we're going to bury her ashes underneath a hazelnut tree. So we need to wait until the nurseries are selling hazelnut trees, and then we can do that. And the kids were very happy with that. They're not really attached to this chicken, so I don't imagine we would have to go through buying a new tree if this chicken dies, but I would be really bummed if this chicken died, because this is the only blue copper Moran that I have. And she's got quite a sweet personality, and she also has a best friend. And it's hard to lose 2 chickens in just a couple of weeks, so I would be sad if we lost her. How am I supposed to clean this out if you're just sitting here for scrubbles? How am I supposed to clean this out? I need your butt out of here, girl. Come on, I need your butt out of here. Cutie. This is technically Bethany's job, but it needs to be done today, and Bethany is not here today. So I'm going to do the job, and I'm going to hopefully get her to help me with something to sort of make up for it. There we go. Alright, this is my flower bed up in front of Dawn's house. It did terribly last year. The tulips did really well, and you can see they're popping up already. The lavender did all right. Everything else, kind of a failure. So it's divided in half. That half has perennials planted in it, and that half will eventually have perennials planted in it. But for now, I'm putting annuals in it. And I'm going to keep it that way because it's easier to amend the soil when you're just growing annuals. Once you've got perennials in there, it's a lot harder to amend the soil. So, soil amending. So they weren't entirely lying about it raining all weekend. It has rained, but it's just like a mist or a few drops here and there. It's been really easy to still work outside. So Dawn has gotten some really good work done on the chicken tractor. It's got walls now. All it really needs is a door, and then we will probably put some chicken wire or hardware cloth along the top there. We want it to stay open so the air can circulate, but there's not a lot of predators that would be able to get in through those. Most birds wouldn't, and anything that can get in through there can get in through anything they want to because they're smarter than us. So yeah, Dawn got some good work done in there, and I got some good work done in my garden. I got these first 4.5 rows tidied up and covered them with some straw and some old vines as mulch. I still got lots of straw here, so I need to finish tidying up these rows here and those rows there, and then tidy up my mounds, get the straws up on top of the mounds instead of in the valleys. And so this garden is probably halfway prepped, so I was able to do that in one day. And I also got all the fence patched. That fence back there, when it fell down, it got chewed to shreds by the moles, so I had to put in a whole new fence. It's a really sloppy patch job just by taking an extra stretch of fence and clipping them together here, and there we go, good enough. The fences are really there just to keep the chickens out. It doesn't keep anybody else out. And until I get a gate on this, the gate that I was using is the bit of fence that I used to patch back there. So I'm gonna need to get some sort of new gate here. But, I'm well on my way to getting stuff done. And now I have to go in the house and remember to have dinner, because that's the other thing. I'm remembering to eat 3 meals a day, which is the hardest part. Right, so my sick hen is gonna go out here with the Mama Silkies. It's not contagious what she has, so I don't have to worry about it spreading. But this is a place where I could keep an eye on her, where she can have nice peace and quiet. She can be isolated without food. I can give her special apple cider vinegar water. I just need to remember that she's in here and check on her regularly. I don't want to keep her in the house because she smells horrible. Sour crop is like a yeast infection, so yeah, she smells terrible. So she's gonna stay out here. Let me show you the difference between having ducks and having chickens. It's springtime, we've had lots of snow melt, we've had lots of rain, the grass hasn't started growing yet, so it's just all mud. On the duck side, it's just a slip and slide. There is just this layer of slippery sludge everywhere I walk. It's super disgusting. And I cross over to the chicken side, And what we have is slightly different. Let me lock this door. Yeah, there's a puddle here, but this puddle is water. Water. And over here, yeah, we have mud, but this mud is solid. I can walk on this mud. And that right there is the difference between ducks and chickens. I'm in a lot of pain today. I can't do any heavy lifting or any labor at all, which is pretty frustrating because it was actually a nice sunny day today and it didn't rain at all. It's still cold, it's only just above freezing, but I spent a lot of the day with the kids planning Bethany's birthday party and helping Abby read, and so it wasn't a total waste of a day, but it's always frustrating when I have a to-do list as long as my to-do list and I can't do anything because I'm in too much pain. My girl's been in the infirmary for all day Sunday, all day Monday, and all day Tuesday now. She hasn't had anything to eat in that time. She's only had apple cider vinegar water. The swelling has gone down and it's not quite as hot, so I'm not so worried about her now. So I might give her a little bit of food, just a little bit. And I'm gonna move her to the other side of this. This cage has two sections. She's too big to fit through the hole that joins the two of them. And that side's getting pretty poopy, so I'm gonna move her to the other side and give her a little bit of food. I only gave her just a little bit of food because I don't want her to make herself sick again. Hey, honey? I don't want you to make yourself sick again. My silkies are doing a good job keeping their eggs warm. This one is still the most dedicated sitter of them all. But somebody is still laying eggs. I'm gonna have a check in here. Yeah, see? There's still a silky egg there. There you go, honey. You wanna go back in there? You go back? There's nothing funnier than a broody hen. Special egg concoction for my sick hen. I did quite a bit of research online. That sounded like a tree just broke in half. I did quite a lot of research online about sour crop. I think she actually has something called a pendulous crop, which means she's going to be prone to sour crop. I will not go to these lengths. If she's going to get sour crop over and over again, we will have to put her out of her misery because I can't go to these lengths to take care of her every time, but I'm going to give her a go. I'm going to do what I can. Oh, you made it through the hole in the middle. I didn't think you were big enough to do that, honey. Well, here we go. Let's put your food over there then. She wants to leave. See? She wants to leave. I understand. I'm just gonna let you stay here for one more day, okay? Here, have some eggs. So this is eggs cooked with lots of coconut oil, and it's got lots of garlic in it. and it's got a lot of hot chilies in it. That'll help with the infection. And then I've also put a little bit of yeast infection medicine in it. So hopefully that concoction will help sort her out. No coming out, you. No coming out. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. All right. We'll see how that goes. And I'm gonna go see. I'm actually in a big rush. Now we're taking a road trip today and tomorrow. The girls and I were going up to visit my mom. Bethany has a violin lesson and a dentist appointment, and those are both an hour away at the place. We're near there. My dentist is an old high school friend, and my Bethany's violin teacher is one of my dearest, oldest friends. So we're taking a road trip to see them, and we're gonna spend the night at my mom's while we're there. And Dawn's gonna take care of everything while we're gone. So of course the weather is absolutely horrible. But I shouldn't complain because there are other people who have it a lot worse than we do. So what just broke? Branches came up there. That's where it came from. Yikes. Poor trees. Trip home to my mom and dad's house was short and marred by a pretty serious ice storm, and their electricity was out the whole time we were there, which meant there was no running water. There was no way to cook any food, and there was no light because we didn't bring our flashlights. And it's funny how much the girls and I realized how much easier it is to function without electricity at my house, where we are used to not having things, than it is to function without electricity at a proper house with all the modern conveniences that you grow to rely on and don't have any systems for coping without. But the girls are at their dad's now, and I'm back on the farm. I'm getting back to work. Still in pain, still struggling, one foot in front of the other, slow and steady. I'll get a few things done, and I'll try not to push myself too hard. So that's it for this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's a pleasure to have you, as always. And we'll see you next week.